Hi there everyone, Dave Oliver from Recovery Now here. This video is going to be our latest update in January 2017 and also it's going to be the new official intro video to replace the original one that we filmed, I filmed a few months ago explaining what everything Recovery Now is. Well, to date, Recovery Now has been a fairly exciting journey for me personally, and I think for the concept. And that's basically to give you an idea straight away on what we're doing with Recovery Now. It really has two sides. It's all about one person sharing their own personal story in a very open way, that being me, about being in a fairly bad place and arriving in January 2017 in a fairly good way, in a fairly good place, having been to a fairly dark place. Also, the other side to what's going on is this new concept of what Recovery Now is. Originally, Recovery Now was going to all be about living in that online space and having a social media and a very savvy presence online to capture and share stories with people about people that were in a bad place, and whether it's the actual person or family members or friends, and then people who have actually now arrived in a good place. And again, that could be an actual person who's been through a bit of hell themselves, or family members or friends or significant others who have witnessed that whole situation unfold. Since decided that space is extremely crowded, and for the types of issues that we're dealing with, I really felt that we needed to have something that was going to be a little bit more face-to-face or out there in the community. So what I've decided to do now is launch a campaign to get what we're hoping to call, or what we are going to call, the Recovery Now mobile recovery unit off the ground. So Recovery Now will live in the online space, but we're also going to have a four-wheel drive and a caravan, hopefully inhabited by myself and my little sidekick Billy Kelpie. And we're going to travel around for a very protracted, short period to start with, as a bit of a tester. Get out there in the community, hopefully more regional communities rather than suburban areas, to share the message of good hope, I suppose, for people that are in a bad way, but also to capture stories. We'd love for the little dining area or the living area in the caravan to basically become a mobile video studio where people can sit down with me, have a cup of tea, and share their story about what's been going on in their life, and hopefully about sharing the message of positivity for some very, very dark situations that can arise out there. And then we'll obviously upload those videos to YouTube, to Facebook, we'll have Vimeo running, and we'll have the website running as well. And the idea being then that people can then click through to the website or click through to links that are related to the situation that they might find themselves in, and start doing some research themselves, start finding or getting themselves in front of professionals. This isn't about, we don't necessarily want people looking down the camera and giving advice. This is purely about people sharing their story. The power of story sharing is so powerful, we've found, and sometimes that's all people need to do is just hear stories, positive stories over and over again. And that's what we want Recovery Now to basically be all about. Recovery Now was launched on Are You OK Day in September, the second Thursday in September 2016. Basically, I have been through a bit of personal hell myself, and on that particular day I thought, you know what, I found myself in a much better place because three very close friends, two of them drove a substantial distance on a Sunday to come out to a country town where I was running a pub to ask if I was okay, because they'd heard that I wasn't. And not a day goes by where I don't count myself extremely lucky. A lot of people do say that to me, that I'm very lucky that I've got the friends that I do, and I am extremely fortunate that those guys, including my family, all got together and planned, I suppose, an intervention. And that's in all senses of asking if someone's, are you okay? Well, that was the way to do it. It was a very, very confronting situation for me, but something that needed to happen. it was the "Are you okay?" question was based around the fact that I was using and abusing and was addicted to a very dangerous substance, methamphetamine. Had been using it for about 18 months and it was making me feel like I could run the pub and get on with life and do those sorts of things. Unfortunately though, I really had some languishing issues that I also needed to deal with, and there was a bit of a crescendo of some issues in my life happened that led to that methamphetamine use. One of those being the fact that I was dealing with, or had wrestled my whole life with the concept of sexual abuse from someone outside of my family from a very young age. And I'd also only just recently come out of the closet and told my family and friends that I was gay at the age of 33, 35 now, turning 36 this year in 2017. So I ended up in a rehab facility in Sydney, an acute care facility, and it was the best thing that ever happened in my life. I went in there with a lot of people thinking that I had a drug problem, but I had a lot of other things that I needed to deal with, and I certainly dealt with them in that facility and have since learned some excellent ways to get on with my life and live a positive and meaningful life. One example of that being I was always very scared, very passionate about rugby union. I was always very scared that and that was a huge reason why I stayed in the closet, because I was very worried what people would think of me in those circles. And here I am, January 2017, attending pre-season sessions as an assistant coach for a first grade side in Perth, the Joondalup brothers. You know, I couldn't be happier. It's just been such a blessing to be able to get back involved in a rugby club. I'm absolutely pumped that part of my life is going to continue, and I hope that I can be a bit of a shining light for other people who may be struggling, thinking that they can't be involved in their sports because of their sexuality, because certainly that's not the case. Well, not for rugby union, I know, and I'm very proud that my sport, that I'm going to be able to stay involved in my sport at a particularly high level, at first grade level, in the Perth rugby scene, as a coach and as a mentor to other players and coaches, I suppose. So that's where we are. So it's January 2017, where we've engaged a professional partnerships company in Stadium Industries. A mate of mine, Justin Barlow, based in Brisbane, is going to be leading the way in getting all of our professional proposals together to make sure that all of our I's are dotted and T's are crossed as far as getting proposals together and aligning with corporate and private partners to get some funding together to get the caravan off the ground, or the mobile recovery unit. I would love to launch this thing on Are You OK Day 2017. I think that would be amazing. That would be 12 months from my first video. I think it's far enough away so that we could really get this thing kicked off properly. So that's the goal. So September 2017, we'd love to launch this thing. And a lot of people that watch these videos are just my family and friends, so I'm going to need your help. We've already received an amazing amount of financial support so far. We've got $7,000 embargoed away to help with all of these startup costs. To get things together, we want to register as a charity or not-for-profit, so they're going to be some, we've already bought a GoPro camera, things like that, so they're going to be some significant costs in getting this off the ground, and we've already got that money aside to do that, so that's great. But once we really launch I've launched a GoFundMe campaign, but we'll be cleaning all of that up and getting it relaunched to really get a substantial amount of money, hopefully in the bank, to purchase this four-wheel drive, purchase this caravan, get it all stickered and logoed up and ready to launch in September. So again, another long video, I promise. I apologise, but there's lots to tell you and lots to update people about who have followed the journey so far. We're up to about 800 likes on Facebook on the page, which is awesome. But this video is also going to replace the original What is Recovery Now video. So if this is your first time getting exposure to the Recovery Now concept, welcome. Thank you for taking the time to watching watching this first video from me. Feel free to click around the website, recoverynow.com.au, the Facebook page. We're already starting to get some other people's stories up as well, and that's what it's going to be all about. So thank you once again, everyone who's been supporting me today. Thank you to my family. Thank you to my friends and my extended friends and other corporate entities that we're going to be dealing with. And you know, I'm going to be knocking on your door. I look forward to really, I suppose the next video is going to be launching all of our formal documentation and promotional material for the mobile recovery unit. and I hope you can see value in supporting me and supporting what that unit's going to be all about. Thanks guys, see you at the next video. Have a great day. Bye for now.